Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Taimanin Mari here today with another Action Taimanin video. And today we're going to start with our usual mumbo jumbo, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the new supporters we're getting tomorrow. So let's knock it all out. Make sure that your facilities and dispatch are done. Make sure that you use up all your AP. Make sure you use up all your BP. Make sure you click this stupid little button here if you haven't done it already today. Make sure you hit up your special stages because it is maintenance tonight. So, with all that being said, you want to have that out of the way before maintenance comes up because you will not be able to play for a few hours. If you haven't finished the event already, try to get that done and get through box 9 to be sure that you have received all the copies of Ina Winchester here because she will no longer be available after today. Moving on from her, we're going to come on over to our gotcha screen. Okay, it looks like there is nothing here, so I guess Hayami left last week and I didn't notice? Or maybe they took them out earlier today? Weren't there banners up? Am I missing something? Am I going crazy, guys? Well, either way, there's no banner up right now, so I guess that's a whole dub. So if you missed whatever was here, then I guess, and it's gone, and that'll be that. But I could have sworn Hayami was here until maintenance ended, and I feel like I'm going crazy now. But either way, yeah, just make sure you get everything that you need done finished, because once maintenance comes along, you won't be able to touch the game for a while. Now, let me just Alt-Tab for you guys really quick, and we'll get into the main part of the video. Alrighty. And there we go. So let's make this big. Boom. Okay. So this is what we're looking at right here. Jack's step. This is obviously Noah's effect. I just want to look at what the two actives do for the new supporters and kind of give a quick opinion of them from what I think. So I'm going to go right out and say it. I think Kirara and Ingrid were like purposely underwhelming, and Noah's going to be the OP character because if she comes by herself, then it's going to be the usual, you either have to pay up front or burn your gems for them. We're not going to get a freebie here, because I don't think there's going to be another waifu war anytime soon. And this supporter kind of proves it. Her passive active rather, because this isn't the actual S-leveled skill, this is just the awakening skill. It says, restores HP by 2% of the damage dealt with character skills, snares all enemies for 3 seconds, and that effect applies every 15 seconds. So, essentially, if you can get your hands on Noah's supporter, then it is literally her sustain if you're going to plan on using it on her. Which is amazing because the past like 6 characters have had no sustain, and due to that fact, they've been a little bit underwhelming in in-game. So, Noah's a supporter coming with a built-in sustain for skill usage is good because that's where the characters who have sustain get their sustain, by dealing damage with skills and getting a portion of the HP back. Moving on to her actual active, it says stomps down and knocks down all enemies in the area, dealing 300% damage, and 5% of the damage dealt is restored as HP. So again, she just smacks them and deals damage back according to how much her skill does. So this whole active right here is literal sustain, both passively and actively, with a nice knockdown CC and a big 5% of damage dealt heal every 57 seconds. So I don't see this supporter being bad in any universe. What we do need to see is her actual S-leveled passive, which will be revealed to us tomorrow when her banner comes up, because I do believe that Noah is being implemented this week. As far as like what type of banner it's going to be, at this point just assume it's going to be a limited banner because Noah is like a main character. So assuming that she's going to be playable, assume that this supporter is going to be limited and the banner is going to have a discount pool of 250 for a 10 pool and then a normal pool of 500. So it will be costly, but I do suggest at least doing the discount pool to try and get your hands on a copy. Personally, like, I'm going to try and do the discount pool, but I'm not going further than that, even though I'd like to, but I'm not hopeful I'll get her because with just a 10 pool, you know, you can easily just get cucked out of those crystals and get garbage. Okay, so I think that's all I want to say about Noah for now. Like, I'm gonna hold opinions on her until I see her actual full supporter tomorrow. But from what I see here, she is really good. I do know that she's blue from what I'm hearing. And with that being said, like, blue has been a bit weak lately, but I think this is a steer in the right direction for them because, I mean, her whole active is literal sustain. This is the sustain that Ark and I worked to put together on Kirara by using Ginryu and Suzune and buffing her HP so that she heals for a good amount passively. And this supporter literally just gives sustain like without any of that being needed. So it's definitely a good facelift to the color blue. And keep in mind they tend to release colors back to back in order in the gacha. So now that this is a blue supporter, we may end up seeing some other good blue supporters pop up in the regular banner for 400 gems, like the pickup gacha, and we may get like a stream of them. Because if you guys remember a few months back, we literally had like Akane and Yuno like back to back, and then we had Kitty Mom, Suruga I think is her name, and then the Kirara supporter, like those were all green back to back. So it almost feels like they monetize the colors like one at a time, and you just have to get the pieces, many pieces of it as you can while it's up. Otherwise, you're hoping to get it from the main banner, or not the main banner, but the giant pool that it gets dropped in later, and that pool is cancerous right now, especially with no uprates. Now we're going to look at Grani Province. I'm just going to say it, guys. I think she's garbage. There's no nice way of putting it. It says deals 250% damage to all enemies and applies 72% bleeding effect on them for 10 seconds. I think Grani is red from what I heard. I could be wrong though. I'm hoping she's red though because I'm probably just going to break 4 of her down and feed them to Spica. I don't think it's good. I mean, I like that it's a 40-second cooldown. That's nice because these regular skills shouldn't be like minute-long cooldowns like some of them are. But there's just better red supporters out there, unfortunately. I know for people who are like newer players or like free-to-play players with limited pulls, like she's not a bad thing to have because she is just a straight damage button. She's a full screen AoE with a full screen bleeding effect. So it's not bad, but it's not great. I think the really great supporters are the ones that we still have not gotten over here in Global, which would be that melee supporter that gives 30% damage to all melee that I've just taken to calling Joey Wheeler. And then we have the machine buffer that JP got that gives machine characters 36% extra damage. They essentially play like Shirayuki, the Dark Elf. So, I mean, those are the supporters I really want to see them give Global, just simply because we don't even have them. We've never had the option to get them. And those are going to be nice pieces of gear for people who are free to play, because that 30% damage buff on a green supporter is overall good since green is kind of meta right now. It can fit into a lot of builds comfortably and make up for people who don't have, like, say, a Kaworu or a Suruga. And as far as the machine supporter, I don't know what color she is, but that additional 36% damage on a machine character, again, would be a nice facelift for Emily mains and Asuka mains over here in Global. But overall, I don't find Grani's active that great. But I'm going to hold off on my judgment. As I said before, I need to see her passive. For all I know, she has some bitchin' passive that, like, buffs human types or something. Like, you never know. So we'll just have to wait and see what she can do. And that's pretty much going to be it. I just wanted to give the usual Monday reminder and talk about what these new supporters do. I know the news has been out for like a day now, but I kind of wanted to give opinions on them, and I don't know, we'll go from there. I'm going to have to see the update tomorrow. The only thing I will say I'm hoping for, since we know we are getting our usual new event and our usual gotchas, oh, and swimsuits, those are coming too, and I'm probably going to get Yuki since they cucked me out of a Kirara swimsuit, unfortunately. But either way, outside of that, the only thing I'm really hoping for is a new story, because at this point, it's been a pretty long time since we had a story update, and outside of the gems from story, I just kind of want to see what happens next. But we'll see what happens in the coming month as far as all that. That being said, if you found it helpful or informative, please like and subscribe, as it really does help me out, and I appreciate all the support I have gotten thus far. And from there, you boys and gals have a great rest of your day. You have good luck in all facets of the game. Make sure you get all of your crap that you need to get done in AT finished before maintenance tonight. You boys and gals take care, and I'll catch you tomorrow with the usual update video. Later.